Today, we're going to review how to complete your federal student loan requirements step by step, but quickly. So, number one thing we'll do is go through entrance counseling, and then I'll show you how it will lead you right into the Master Promissory Note for your direct student loan. So, if you log into StudentAid.gov, that means you do have to have a username and password. So if you don't have one, you can just create one right here on the site. And then in 3 days, it should be verified, and you'd be able to use it for entrance counseling and signing master promissory notes, completing FAFSAs, etc. So you'll go right up to grants and loans, and you'll come right down and see loan entrance counseling. So we're going to click on this. And I'm just going to demonstrate what you would see and how you would complete it. Hello?
Louise?
No, Anne Louise, that's my mom. She's I make her appointments for her at 3:45. Yeah.
Referral. We kept referral and we do need that in order to see her.
Oh, nobody told me that. When I called and gave the information, they said I was all set.
No, she needs a referral.
Okay.
Her
All right.
insurance
Can't,
requires it.
all right. Well, cancel it. I should have been told that. Today we're going to Let's review how to complete your federal student loan requirements step by step. First, we'll go through quickly entrance counseling and what you need to do, and then I will show you how entrance counseling, once you're finished, turns into a link to your master promissory note for your direct federal student loan. So let's get started. You would log in at StudentAid.gov. This is your dashboard. If you do not have a username and password, you can create one right on the site. Over here, you're just going to go over to grants and loans, come right down to loan entrance counseling, and hit that button. So right here, you'll get some information on how and why you're going to complete the entrance loan counseling. You'll choose if you're an undergraduate student or a graduate or professional student. If you don't know what you are, you would just simply hit the question box. Most students are undergraduate students, and they're going for their 2-year or 4-year degree. So you just hit start and move along. It says it'll take 20 to 30 minutes. We won't take that long. I'm just going to show you around and show you how you get to the Master Promissory section. It'll tell you what you're going to learn to do in entrance counseling, notify your school. That's the number one most important thing, because your money will not be dispersed unless you do that. Learn what school costs and how to pay for it, and prepare for successful repayment. And then you'll be quizzed along the way. I'll show you how that works. So this is just going to select a random school, but you could just click this button right here and look up your school by state or name. Very easy. You can then just select add the school and move along. Estimate your cost. You need to do this or else it will not go forward. So you just hit continue. You'll pick the name of the school, type of tuition, whether it's in school or out of state, in state or out of state, if you'll be on campus or off campus, and how many years. So if it's a bachelor's, it'll be 4 years. You view the data and it'll show you what the total direct and indirect costs will be. It's an estimate, and then you'll hit continue. So now you've completed that section. You'll also need to go through loan basics and learn the types of loans that are available. Right here, they'll give you information about grants and scholarships, work study, etc., other ways to pay for college expenses. They'll talk about what a loan is, principal, interest, as well as loan fees. Yes, federal loans all have loan fees, so be aware of that. It'll talk to you about the types of student loans as well as private student loans. And then you've completed that section. So it goes rather quickly. Now we have to go through these 6 sections right here: how federal student loans work, what a Master Promissory Note is, and it gives you all the information right here. It gives you examples of subsidized and unsubsidized loans. It gives you maximums of what you can borrow depending upon if you're a dependent or independent undergraduate student, who's the borrower. It does talk about federal Parent Plus loans as well, which will be changing, and gives you the rates and fees and information on those loans. Remember, interest rates and fees change every July 1st for the coming academic year. It will go through all of these categories. You'll have to read the information, and then you will take a quiz. So the quiz, you can get things wrong on here. It's okay. You cannot redo the answer. You could go previous and go forward if you needed to, but really you just answer the question to the best of your ability. What documents explains your rights and responsibilities as a federal student loan borrower? That is always your Master Promissory Note. You check your answer. It's correct. You move on. Which loan type provides interest subsidy? That is a subsidized direct federal loan. And who should you contact if you have trouble making your payments? Not your parents, your loan servicer. That's who will manage your loan for you. And you keep going. You'll move on to the next section, estimate your annual and total student costs. This is kind of a repeat, but you'll pick bachelor's or associate's degree, whatever you're trying to earn. You'll put your field of study here. So let's just say it's nursing. You can view the data and then put program length, calculate, and it'll tell you what you can expect the loan balance to be. Keep reading the information because you will be tested on it. Impact of interest on loans. That's something you should probably already know, but there'll be a video right here if you need to listen to it. It'll give you example scenarios here. If you pay interest as it accrues, pay no interest, and pay it over time, it does look different, right? Now you'll answer questions about this. Who do you contact if you already accepted more loan money than you need? You would contact your financial aid office and they can return the funds to the Department of Ed. Simple and easy. What increases your total loan balances? Well, that's both interest accrual as well as interest capitalization. So there we go. We got that correct. How can you reduce your total cost? Well, any of the above: making interest payments while in school, interest and principal payments while in school, or interest and principal payments while in your grace period, which is 6 months after you graduate, leave school, or drop below half time. Now you'll move on. Who do you pay? They're teaching you who you would know your repayment burden and responsibility. So based on the information I gave it, it's estimating that my loan payment will probably be $270 a month. And you do have different repayment options that you can choose. It shows you what a standard payment is, the $270, which is a 10-year term. You can go with a lower payment and it gets larger as you move through the 10 years. And sometimes you can extend it to maybe 12 years or more. It'll show you based on the amount that you borrow what your options would be. And then you will also answer some questions here about who do you contact if you have questions about repayment plans. It's always your loan servicer. Your financial aid office would not be answering those questions. Who do you contact when it's time to enroll in a repayment plan? Your loan servicer. And then this is what percentage of your gross salary does the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau suggest your student loan payment be in order to be affordable and limit risk of delinquency or default? It is 8% of your gross salary. Here, this is which payment plan will you be placed on automatically unless you change it by contacting your loan servicer. It's always the standard repayment of 10 years. You can change it and stretch it out for sure, just by contacting your loan servicer. What happens if you miss payments? It talks about how it impacts your credit, which it is negative. Okay. And how to avoid these types of things. You can seek forbearances, ask for lower payments. Also, they want you to know about loan forgiveness and cancellation and discharge options through teacher loan forgiveness, public service loan forgiveness if you're working for a nonprofit or a U.S. federal, state, local or tribal government. So there are many ways to qualify if your school closed and you couldn't get your degree, or if you're totally and permanently disabled, or if upon death. So here's the summary of your entrance counseling. You submit it, and there you go. You can see that you've successfully completed your loan entrance counseling. Your school will be notified in 24 hours, and you can also get proof of this in your activity section or in your document section. Now you can go right to sign your Master Promissory Note. You can link right to doing a FAFSA if you didn't do that, or you can link right to the annual student loan acknowledgement as well. And you can go to a loan simulator. But really, your next step, especially if this is your first year, is go right to the Master Promissory Note. And it will set it up for you. All the information that you put in to the FAFSA and or the information when you selected your school just now through entrance counseling will be sitting there. So you would pick if you're an undergraduate student, if you're a graduate or professional student, or if you're a parent of an undergraduate student. These are all different types of Master Promissory Notes. You just hit the start button and get moving on your Master Promissory Note. You would put all your information in. You will select your school and references. You'll put 2 references in. So I'll put a number in here. There we go. So we can move on. And yep, there we go. Okay, you'll select your school. So you'll add your school. So your school is notified. They will not release the funds unless they're notified. You wouldn't be able to move forward without selecting a school, but make sure it's the right school. And then you just hit continue, and then you'll add your references right here, and then it'll take you through all the stages of the agreement review. You'll sign it and submit it, and it will go off to your school in 24 hours. Good luck.